Once upon a time, there was a woman named Emily, age 44, who found herself weary after a long, demanding day spent in the office. There I stood, facing the office, then the bathroom mirror, taking a moment to pause as I began to shed my work attire, first the skirt, then unbuttoning the blouse. I found myself standing there, clad only in my bra and lace stockings, gazing at my own reflection. It had been ages since I truly gazed upon my own reflection, truly seeing myself. In that fleeting moment, a spark ignited within me, a feeling I hadn't experienced in quite some time. I dedicated myself to hard work and maintained my physical form. Yet, in the midst of my journey, I found myself drifting away from the notion of desirability. I became enveloped in my own reflections, savoring the present moment and the gentle caress of lace upon my skin as it danced along my waist and shoulders. This tranquil, almost contemplative state brought a sense of calm after a long day, and the faint echo of the main door opening and closing barely registered in my awareness. But then, out of nowhere, I caught the sound of footsteps approaching down the hallway, swift and determined. Just as I was beginning to collect my thoughts, the bathroom door swung open, revealing Daniel standing there. He stood still, eyes wide with astonishment. We stood still for a moment, absorbing the wonder before us. His eyes widened with disbelief as he lingered there, caught off guard, contemplating whether to retreat or to speak up. He stammered an apology, fumbling to lock the door as he tried to leave. But I surprised myself by calling out softly, "No need to be shy." A sudden surge of boldness washed over me, an unmistakable self-assurance that seemed to emerge from a place I couldn't quite identify. Perhaps it was merely the sensation of being acknowledged, of embracing vulnerability without the need for concealment. Daniel's eyes sparkled with awe and amazement, fueling my inspiration. I reached out for his arm, halting him from shutting the door entirely with a soft, soothing tone. I assured him that there was no need for him to go in the atmosphere. A thrill danced, a shared recognition that seemed effortlessly genuine and alive. I shared with him that I had observed his curiosity and fascination long before this moment arrived. He glanced back at me, nearly at a loss for words, as if he were grappling with the unfolding moment. A blend of fascination and wonder danced across his features. In that instant, it felt as though we were both cautiously exploring uncharted territory. Yet, with each fleeting second, the uncertainty melted away, giving rise to a shared sense of trust and intrigue. In that little place, it felt as though time had come to a standstill, and the world beyond faded away. My fingers wove through his hair, gently tangling it as I pulled him nearer. His hands enveloped mine with a tender grip, and as he traced a gentle path along my back, a wave of calm washed over me, intertwined with a thrill that danced just beneath the surface. In that moment, his touch was a delicate dance of assurance and exploration, weaving through the air with a sense of purpose that enveloped me in warmth. It felt as though he sought to uncover the very essence of my being, each movement a silent promise, a gentle bond of trust forming in the space between us. As I glimpsed our reflection in the mirror behind us, the moment deepened, infusing it with an intensity that felt almost palpable, more vivid than ever before. The reflection embraced the vulnerability and warmth enveloping us, weaving a tapestry of awareness that transformed it into something beyond a mere fleeting moment. His hands were tender yet deliberate, gliding along my waist and pausing over the delicate lace of my stockings, igniting a subtle thrill within me. In the way he held me, there was a sense of authenticity and connection that felt profound. The stillness enveloped the space, imbuing each moment with significance and a sense of permanence. After a moment, we transitioned from the cramped confines of the bathroom to my bedroom, a place that enveloped us in comfort, resembling a serene sanctuary. That embraced the warmth of our. There was a shared connection with Daniel, and as he led the way, I experienced a delightful mix of anticipation and tranquility, a sense of trust and openness that made everything feel effortlessly natural. The gaze he cast upon me was a gentle warmth that enveloped me, a blend of curiosity and sincerity that assured me this moment held greater significance. More than a fleeting moment, it was a heartfelt moment we all embraced together. I softly encouraged him to take a seat on the edge of the. I found myself kneeling beside him at the edge of the bed. We ventured deeper into that warmth between us, exchanging gentle, soft, lingering kisses and gentle, fleeting touches. I allowed my fingers to glide over his shoulders and neck, following the elegant line of his jaw as I absorbed every nuance, and he echoed my gestures with his hands, exploring my arms in a gentle dance of touch, the delicate weave of the lace against the gentle warmth of my skin. There was no need to hurry. We reveled in the serene, effortless cadence that blossomed between us, resembling a harmonious dance of connection. The atmosphere buzzed with a vibrant energy that swelled gradually, yet it carried no weight of urgency. It was a journey of exploration, a celebration of each other's essence in a manner that resonated with authenticity and openness. As I sensed his hands gliding over my back and sides, a tender exchange of trust unfolded, an unvoiced recognition of the comfort and curiosity that intertwined between us. His hands glided over the lace fabric, savoring each intricate detail of his movements. Filled with both attentiveness and tenderness, I leaned in a bit, drawing nearer to him, encircling my arms around his shoulders. With each movement, it felt like a gentle reminder that this moment was truly unique, him as it was to me. His expression radiated sincerity as he took in every small gesture, transforming each fleeting moment into something precious. As we journeyed together, the warmth of comfort and trust blossomed between us. They lingered, relishing the warmth of each other's presence in the quiet embrace of the room. In its unadorned essence, there lay a captivating beauty. There's no requirement for elaborate displays or eloquent phrases. It's simply the authentic connection we experienced in that fleeting moment that truly resonated, as if we were enveloped in our own realm, liberated from the burdens of the day and the familiar patterns of life. Then, out of nowhere, a sound shattered the tranquility. A doorbell rang out from the hallway, echoing with an unexpected clarity. I felt the brief constriction in my mind. "Ethan, my friend," I whispered, a surge of understanding washing over me as I grasped that he must have returned home sooner than I had anticipated. Our eyes met, a silent agreement passing between us, and we couldn't help but share a quiet chuckle at the perfect timing of it all. I swiftly tidied my attire, running a hand through my hair to ensure everything was just right, while Daniel mirrored my actions, casting a quick, playful glance my way. A glance, playful and knowing, danced between them. We gathered around the supper table, the air filled with stories of our days, laughter echoing softly as we savored each other's presence, all while a deeper current flowed beneath the surface. Yet, the warmth of our shared connection remained palpable, a silent understanding between Daniel and me that lingered, suggesting the presence of something deeper. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself in the comfort of my room, letting the day's happenings gently slip into the background. It was a serene time for me, a moment I eagerly anticipated each evening. Yet, as I reclined there, immersed in my thoughts, a gentle knock echoed from the door. My gaze lifted in astonishment, and there he was, Daniel, framed in the doorway. In his eyes danced a blend of curiosity and excitement, a flicker of recognition intertwined with the exhilarating allure of the unknown. He entered the room with a gentle smile, shaking his head ever so slightly, as if the words he was about to utter were almost too incredible to believe. "Yesterday was a whirlwind," he murmured, his voice a soft echo yet brimming with earnestness. Thoughts swirl in my mind, a moment suspended in time, where silence enveloped us. He drew nearer, and as he nestled beside me, an unspoken tranquility filled the air. Our gazes met, And in that exchange, a profound trust blossomed, making every second feel effortlessly serene and genuine. With a gentle yet confident touch, he led me, positioning me so that my back rested softly against him. His movements flowed with a deliberate grace, each gesture imbued with purpose, as though he possessed an innate understanding of his desires and the art of conveying them silently. The warmth of his chest pressed against me, his breath gently stirring my hair, enveloping me in a comforting calm. Even as my own breathing became unsteady, the room enveloped us in a hush, the surrounding sounds retreating like whispers in the wind, leaving only the soft cadence of our breaths and the unwavering pulse of my heart. His hand lingered on my shoulder for a brief moment, a weight of it serving as a grounding force, an anchor that connected me entirely to this instant. I closed my eyes, allowing my senses to absorb every subtle detail. The subtle fragrance of his cologne lingered in the air, a warm glow emanating from his skin. The soft rustle of fabric accompanied his movements, creating an atmosphere that was both commanding and soothing, wrapping me in a cocoon of vulnerability and safety. A curious and enchanting contradiction. A wave of energy washed over me, blending anticipation with surrender. My breath deepened, slow and drawn out, as I endeavored to maintain my composure. Yet, there was something undeniably exhilarating in experiencing this closeness, with no barriers, no walls to separate us. His arm wrapped around me, pulling me in closer until the space between us vanished. The steady rhythm of his breath was calming, as if he were crafting a serene world just for us, a realm where time slowed and every touch held significance. Initially, he glided with a gentle touch, sensing the atmosphere, allowing us to find our footing amidst the flutter of my breath. A fleeting shiver coursed through me, a reaction I struggled to contain. The warmth of his hand rested gently on my waist, a sensation that lingered in the air, delicate yet electric, every nerve ignited as his fingers brushed my skin. There was a gentleness in his movements that made me feel seen, respected, and entirely alive. But then, with a slight shift, he changed pace, moving with more purpose. I could feel him exhale as he grew more intent, as if he decided to let down the careful control he'd maintained until that moment. A shiver spread through me as he held me close, hard breathing mingling, and the exhilarating pace he set was intoxicating, leaving no space for hesitation. Only an unspoken understanding of his movements matched my own responses in a perfect wordless conversation. Each movement drew me deeper into the moment. I had been trying to keep my composure, but now I found myself breathing louder, letting go of restraint, unable to hold back the response that built inside me. My heart pounded faster, the rhythm in sync with his own, until every sensation blurred together in a kind of focused intensity. I felt as though I were floating, as though time had lost meaning, and the only thing that mattered was this feeling, this connection. His hand at my waist tightened just. With a subtle gesture, I was drawn back to the present, enveloped in the warmth and comfort he offered. I found myself surrendering, releasing any lingering thoughts or worries, fully immersed in the moment with him. As we discovered our rhythm, it became clear how natural it felt to be close, to trust him and allow him to lead. There was an unspoken understanding between us, and my breathing deepened and steadied, though it would occasionally hitch as he moved with increasing urgency. I could feel my heartbeat resonating within me, each pulse harmonizing perfectly with his. He leaned in, his forehead brushing against my hair. I could feel the warmth in his eyes, a softness that enveloped me with both serenity and excitement. Each breath felt like a step into the unknown land. Yet I felt secure because he created a space just for us, where everything else melted away. I longed to express my gratitude for his tenderness, patience, and the way he seemed to understand my needs without a word. As he hugged me tight, I felt utterly free. My heart was on the verge of bursting from the overwhelming blend of exhilaration, warmth, comfort, and something to pair a sense of belonging. Every touch was a comfort, a subtle promise, and as I released my final constraint, a wave of calm washed over me, the quickening of my pulse fading into tranquility. The speed at which he moved mirrored the depth of our emotions, and in that moment, I understood that there was no need for restraint or silence. I surrendered to the experience, fully embracing the sensations, and for a fleeting moment, the world around us faded away. Once it was over, I took a moment to gather my thoughts, enveloped in a serene warmth that lingered even as I rose to continue my evening. I made my way to the bathroom, tidying my hair and refreshing myself, catching a glimpse of my reflection before heading to the kitchen to prepare dinner. The familiar sounds of chopping vegetables and a gentle hiss of the stove filled the space as I set the table, anchoring myself in the comforting rhythm of the routine. In the rhythm of daily life, I occasionally glanced over my shoulder to see Daniel tidying up around the home. His typical calm presence infused the atmosphere with a sense of ease that enveloped the space. A little while later, my husband arrived home, his familiar footsteps announcing his presence. As he stepped in, he greeted us with his customary kindness, patting Daniel on the shoulder and offering me a soft smile. We all gathered around the table, and I served lunch, feeling a modest sense of pleasure at how everything looked just right. As we began to dine, my husband turned to us, inquiring about our day with genuine interest. Daniel spoke first, sharing a few highlights from his studies, his face beaming as he recounted a particularly engaging conversation from his history class. I smiled, filled with satisfaction at how passionately he shared his experiences. We engaged in conversation, sharing the genuine joy that filled the air. My husband listened with keen interest, asking questions that showed his curiosity about Daniel's stories. When it was my turn, I opened up about my day at work, introducing a new project I was excited about, all while keeping the mood light and engaging. My husband nodded, fully present, and Daniel wore a small smile, clearly enjoying the exchange. The atmosphere was cozy and warm, enriched by familiar chatter, laughter, and the soothing hum of shared happiness. Those moments lingered in my mind as we wrapped up dinner and tidied up together. All around me, each person was immersed in their usual tasks, a quiet significance enveloping the scene. This thought lingered in my mind as I prepared for sleep, and a subtle smile graced my lips as I drifted off into slumber.